Apple just struck a deal with Intel, which means after around 5 years of ARM-based Macs, they're going back to x86. That is absolutely not the case, which is exactly what makes this story interesting. In 2020, Apple ditched Intel processors and started building their own, the M1 chip. ARM architecture manufactured by TSMC in Taiwan. Battery life went up, heat went down, performance went up. The MacBook Air became a different machine overnight. Intel lost one of its biggest customers. Apple became almost entirely dependent on TSMC. That is what's changing now. On May 8, 2026, the Wall Street Journal reported that Apple and Intel have reached a preliminary agreement in chip making. Intel stock nearly jumped 15% the same day. Intel is not designing the chips, Apple is. The chips will still be Apple Silicon, ARM-based, same as they have been since 2020. What Intel is being asked to do is manufacture for them, the same role that TSMC has been playing, a foundry, a factory. According to analyst Ming-Chi Kuo, who has the best supply chain track record for Apple in the business, the plan is for Intel to produce M-series base model chips, the one inside MacBook Airs, iPad Pros, with volume production starting Q2 or Q3 2027. The Pro, Max and Ultra chips still stay with TSMC. So by late 2027, you could have a MacBook Air with a chip designed in Cupertino and manufactured in Arizona at Intel's fab. But why are they doing this? TSMC is not the problem. Apple spent $24 billion with them in 2025 alone. The relationship is strong and the chips are excellent. The problem is where TSMC's factories are. Almost every leading-edge chip Apple ships comes from Fab 18 in Tainan, Taiwan. One island. Every iPhone A-series chip, every Mac M-series chip. If anything disrupts the island, Apple's entire product lineup has a supply problem simultaneously. TSMC has been trying to spread out. Their Arizona facility started 4nm production in early 2025, and Apple is already buying over 100 million chips from it this year. But Arizona still represents under 5% of Apple's leading-edge output. It's not enough to materially change the risk profile. Intel's Arizona fabs give Apple a genuine second option on US soil. But you see, the thing is, the deal didn't come from nowhere. Intel telegraphed it 3 years ago, and most people weren't paying attention. In April 2023, Intel Foundry Services and ARM announced a formal multi-generation partnership. The agreement let chip designers use ARM's IP manufacture their products on Intel's 18A process. Intel was opening its fab to ARM-based chips that directly compete with its own x86 architecture. That was Intel publicly accepting something most of the industry hadn't fully absorbed yet. The chip design business and the chip manufacturing business were separating, and Intel needed to compete in manufacturing, regardless of whose architecture it was building. At that time, it read as a somewhat desperate pivot for a company that has been losing process ground to TSMC for years. Seen from 2026, it was the setup. The new CEO who took over in 2025 accelerated it. The Apple deal is where the strategy lands. 3 years after announcing it would build ARM chips for other companies, Intel is building ARM chips for Apple. Actually, from a wider view, neither Apple or Intel is really the main character here. For most of the past decade, leading-edge chip manufacturing was essentially a two-horse race. TSMC and Samsung. Every major chip company, Qualcomm, Nvidia, Apple, AMD, designed their products and handed them to one of those to build. TSMC dominated because they kept delivering more advanced process nodes on time, while Intel kept missing theirs. Intel 18A changed that. Yield rates are in the 60 to 65% range and climbing. Amazon is using Intel for AI fabric chips. Tesla has committed to Intel's future 14A node for the Terafab project in Austin. Microsoft is engaged. Intel Foundry hit $5.4 billion revenue in Q1 2026, up 16% year over year, and is on track to break even by 2027. One catch worth knowing, of that $5.4 billion, only $174 million came from external customers. The rest is Intel making its own chips in its own factories, which is exactly why the Apple deal is such a big moment. It would be the first major external customer actually putting volume through Intel's most advanced process. The Western semiconductor industry now has two credible advanced foundry options for the first time in years. This matters beyond Apple. Every company designing chips on ARM, RISC-V or custom architectures now has a genuine alternative to TSMC. And that brings us to the actual story. This is actually an ARM story. Apple's 2020 switch was the loudest signal that ARM had arrived in serious computing. Not just phones, but the best laptops in the market. Since then, Qualcomm's ARM chips are running Windows Copilot Plus PCs, AWS, Ampere and Nvidia's Grace CPU are shifting data centers towards ARM. AI workloads are accelerating the shift even further. And now the company that built its entire identity on x86 is running ARM chips through its factories for one of the world's most valuable companies. Intel hasn't abandoned x86, it has a long runway in enterprise computing, but Intel accepting that its foundry future runs on ARM tells you exactly which direction the industry is moving. For anyone buying or thinking about a Mac, nothing changes before 2027. The machines shipping now are excellent TSMC build. What to watch is whether Intel actually delivers. Apple will not ship a product with a chip that underperforms, regardless of who made it. Yield rates, production volumes, and process consistency all all have to meet Apple's standard before any of these matters to a consumer. If it works, Apple gets supply resilience and Intel gets the most important foundry customer it's ever had. And ARM gets one more piece of evidence that the architecture question in computing is already settled. So that is all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Do like, share and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.